Good morning. My name is Molly Smith, and I want to welcome you to the first of 3 webinars that we're producing in support of the K12 component of the Strong Workforce application process. My name is Molly Smith. I'm the Regional Chair for the San Diego and Imperial Counties Regional Consortium, and my colleague Lynn McConville, Assistant Principal for Career, Technical, and Adult Education at Poway Unified, will also be presenting in this webinar. What you see before you are links to resources that we have provided for you. Later in this presentation, Lynn McConville will provide access to tools, to this PowerPoint, and a link to this recorded presentation. Additionally, we have a link where you can pose questions that we will respond to within 48 hours. All these links are provided in the description below. What you see is our agenda for this webinar. We will introduce you to our regional organizational structure, our student-centered model, which is our roadway for student success, the career pathways goals developed in partnership with our regional K12 partners, an introduction to our priority sectors, and Lynn will introduce you to our focus areas, which will help you in preparing your application. Additionally, you can pose questions and we will provide answers within 48 hours. What you see before you is our regional strong workforce implementation organizational structure. As you can see, it is anchored at the top by our president's organization, and what you see at the bottom are our regional work groups. These are populated by members from all 10 of our community colleges. In particular, what's important to this project is the Career Pathways Work Group. This work group is constituted by 10 members from each of the community colleges in the region, as well as 10 members from the K12 community. Members from the K12 community are also participating in the middle school and high school, as well as the adult education. This graphic, this student-centered model, is anchored in guided pathways, which are represented by the pillars that you see behind, and the foundation, which is data and research for all of our projects. This graphic begins with our engagement with middle school and high school and pathway development, as well as adult education and our workforce and self-referred participants. Additionally, we have our onboarding, which is our initial engagement with students, the pathway participation, which is the student's program of study, and our transitional services, which are transfer services and job placement. Our work today is in particular focused on this area right here, which is our engagement with our middle school and high school partners. The next 2 slides display our regional career pathways goals, which were developed in partnership with our K12 partners. There are 8 goals. The first goal is the convening of our K12 and community colleges and adult education partners. We have together developed regional goals, student outcomes, and metrics to define the career pathway system. The second is development of guidelines to measure our regional career pathway system, mapping our existing programs in high school and community colleges to identify gaps. The fourth is identifying gaps between pathways and regional labor market and recommending programs leading students to in-demand paths. The fifth goal is aligning our career pathways curriculum and course sequence between high school, community colleges, and adult schools. Number 6, build goals and strategies for career development in middle school and high school, bridging to community colleges. Number 7, develop work-based learning continuum of activities offered from middle school to high school. And the 8th is convening high school and community college faculty to develop early college credit programs. There are 10 statewide sector priorities. For the San Diego and Imperial counties, the goals fall into 3 categories. In blue are the priority and emerging occupations. Priority sectors are advanced transportation and logistics, health, and life sciences, biotech. The emerging sectors are advanced manufacturing, ICT, digital media, plus energy, construction, and utilities. Other in-demand sectors include agriculture, water and environmental technologies, business and entrepreneurship, global trade, and retail, hospitality, and tourism. The sectors in blue are the highest priorities. These sectors will guide your pathway applications. I would now like to introduce my colleague, Lynn McConville, who will share with you our areas of focus for this application.
Thank you, Molly. Hello, everyone. My name is Lynn McConville, and I currently serve as an assistant principal supporting our K12 and adult career technical education programs in the Poway Unified School District. I also serve on Work Group 2 in our regional consortium. As mentioned in the introduction, the region has established 3 areas of focus for our grants, align with the goals presented earlier by Molly: middle school career development, high school career development, and the development and improvement of high school career pathways. The region's goal is that at least 25% of the funded applications will fall into each of these 3 areas. A committee has developed 3 documents to support K12 practitioners in developing applications for the K12 Strong Workforce Program funding in 3 areas of focus. These include a middle school career development continuum, a high school career development continuum, and a career and pathway development rubric that can help you assess both career development and pathway programs in your school or your LEA. The materials are based on research and the work of many of the stakeholders under the California Career Pathways Trust Initiative, including educators from K12 public education, community colleges, and industry. They were also vetted extensively with both our K12 and community college audiences. The tools can be used to assess your current practice and determine where your schools may want to build or strengthen career development and pathway programs. The middle school and high school career development continuum documents display both in-school and out-of-school practices along a continuum of self-awareness and career awareness to career exploration, career preparation, and career training. The middle school career development addresses 4 domains of activity, and you can see that on the slide in front of us. 2 sets of in-school activities and 2 sets of out-of-school activities. In-school activities include standards-based curriculum and career research and planning activities. Out-of-school activities include work-based learning and post-secondary engagement. This slide depicts the first page of the document, in-school curricular activities. These are all career development experiences, from promoting self-awareness and awareness of career options all the way to hands-on skills building that can be carried out in the classroom, geared to 5th through 8th graders. An example of this could be students using a tool such as Thrively or Zello or any of the other platforms out there to complete lessons on identifying students' strengths, interests, and values, and linking that information to potential careers. The second slide in the middle school career development continuum focuses on those career research and planning activities that may happen in a class, but may also happen with the support of counselors or other staff at the school. Here we also describe the engagement of parents and families. An example of this that you may want to include in your application and something you may want to strengthen in your pathway may include a family engagement event that provides students and their parents or guardians the opportunity to review the results of their self-awareness lessons and to provide guidance on how to select courses or pathways in the future. The third slide depicts the continuum of work-based learning activities ranging from company tours and field trips to hands-on service and learning projects. Finally, the fourth slide depicts a range of post-secondary engagement strategies that are so critical for students to envisioning themselves not only as staying in school, but as continuing beyond high school to a post-secondary institution. Just as students need to imagine future careers, they need to imagine themselves as engaging in post-high school experiences that will lead to those careers. The more they are directly exposed to college campuses and pathways, the less intimidating and the more exciting these options may become. Similarly, the high school career development continuum addresses 4 domains of activity: 2 sets of in-school activities and 2 sets of out-of-school activities. In-school includes standards-based curriculum and career research and planning activities. Out-of-school includes work-based learning and post-secondary engagement. The high school version goes from self-awareness through to career preparation and training. This slide depicts the first page of the document, in-school curricular activities. Again, these are all career development experiences from promoting self-awareness and awareness of career options all the way to highly technical coursework and certification that can be carried out in a classroom. An example of this is the completion of CTE pathway courses that provide students with academic and technical preparation, as well as the attitudes and skills needed to succeed both in college and career. The second slide in the high school career development continuum focuses on career research and planning activities that may happen in class, but it may also happen with the support of counselors or other staff at the school. Again, we also describe the engagement of parents and families. An example of this could include support for students and their families in making informed and purposeful decisions about colleges. The third slide depicts the continuum of work-based learning activities ranging from tours and field trips to internships and apprenticeships. Finally, the fourth slide depicts the range of post-secondary engagement strategies. These can include support for applications, financial aid, and the scholarship process, as well as choosing the right fit major and school. It can also include articulation, dual, or concurrent enrollment. The last of the resource documents that have been created is the Career Pathway Development Rubric. The purpose of the Pathway Rubric is to facilitate self-assessment in a variety of elements of pathway development. It was developed in our regional California Career Pathways Trust work. The rubric addresses 3 areas: teaching and learning, structure, and culture and beliefs. Teaching and learning addresses encompassing all of the activities in the continuum documents. Structure looks at the organizational issues to be addressed in order to facilitate good teaching and learning, such as course sequencing, common planning time, partnerships with industries. And culture and beliefs include the mindsets of administrators, teachers, and staff, and the policies needed to build pathways effectively. Each element describes 3 levels of practice: developing, where you can score yourself a 1, sustaining, where you would score yourself a 2, or thriving, where you'd give yourself a 3. Scores are tabulated on a summary sheet. The resulting summary can suggest key areas where investments would be worthwhile to strengthen programs. This does not mean that all the funding should be targeted to the biggest gaps, but rather that the analysis can help you be strategic in developing your strategies. One LEA may choose to address all elements, another may choose to improve a few of the elements, yet another LEA may start with only professional development. The rubric is aligned to the 11 elements of high-quality CTE as presented in the high-quality CTE program evaluation rubric required for our recent CTIG proposals, but provides more detail, reflecting the values and priorities of practitioners in the San Diego and Imperial counties. As you can see, the rubric allows for self-assessment and highlighting gaps or needs for improvement that may be addressed in your grant application, particularly in the needs section. The needs section of the RFA asks applicants to address both labor market issues and in Bullet 2, the status of current career technical education courses, course sequences, programs, and/or pathways, or the lack of pathways that will be addressed by the Pathway Improvement Plan. This self-assessment, together with your CTIG self-evaluation, will help you respond to this prompt. The rubric looks at teaching and learning and how your schools are addressing instructional practice and a number of other elements. The rubric looks at teaching and learning and how your schools are addressing instructional practice, college credit earned, career exploration, research and planning, work-based learning, academic and other supports, choice, personalization and relationships, family engagement, and post-secondary engagement. The next part of the rubric allows you to review the structure of your pathways. In this section, you may assess the sequencing of your courses, collaboration, and master scheduling, teacher recruitment and capacity, funding and sustainability, leadership at the district and site level, recruitment and scheduling of students, partnerships and alignment with higher education, industry, and community-based organizations, and program evaluation, how metrics are collected and analyzed, and how you engage in a continuous cycle of improvement. The last part of the rubric addresses the culture in your schools and your pathways. The Culture tab has two sections displayed on this slide. It describes features that are less technical, but critical to the long-term and equitable implementation of pathway programs. Culture and Belief again looks at positive beliefs about students and families, and the value of career pathways included in the mission and vision of your district and your site. We hope you find these three resources valuable as you plan for and complete your applications. And as mentioned earlier in the presentation by Molly, to access the tools and the presentation and to listen to the recorded version of this webinar or to submit questions, please use the link that you see on this slide. So this concludes our presentation. Again, we hope that you found this webinar helpful and the resources that we provided helpful to you as you complete your strong workforce application. And Molly and I both thank you very much for joining us.